Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and this is set 2 of Firebathero versus Casey of Samson Cotton versus Air Force Ace. Casey is a player that I haven't seen for a while. I know he's been playing for Air Force Ace. He's another new recruit like Reach and Anytime. He is actually an OSL winner from 2006. I actually almost forgot that. So he could present a big threat here against Firebathero, who is, of course, Rise's favorite player and one of my favorite. They're going to be playing on Neo Harmony. Terran versus Terran matchup. Casey, known for actually nuking Zerg I think a year ago. He played in a game where people were saying, oh, he's coming back, but afterwards he kind of has been quiet since. But this should be a really exciting game.
Definitely. I mean, Firebat Hero always makes for an exciting game in my book. I know that a lot of the people on the Violetic account certainly love the Firebat Hero games as well. I mean, they're some of the most highest viewed videos. So he's
Oh,
got some
absolutely.
sort of draw, whether you love him or hate him. It could be hate, but whatever the case, I am expecting a pretty exciting game. I guess I should mention real quick that Casey is the red Terran in the bottom left position, and Firebat Hero is the looks like yellow Terran on the bottom right. This is, as you said before, Neo Harmony, and this is going to make for another interesting TVT. We've seen quite a few. We've seen that the back areas of the bases play a large role in a lot of the TVTs that we've seen so far. A lot of dropship play, and we've seen some kind of interesting games. Most notably 4GG versus Light. I mean, that was definitely an interesting one, and this map is just kind of, for whatever reason, really lends itself to some cool TVT play. And definitely these players, Firebat Hero at the very least, is pretty creative. And if Casey, I mean, I don't know how he is against his TVT matchup so much as his TVZ, but like you're saying, if he nukes Zergs, we could see some interesting stuff against a Terran player as well. Anyone who nukes in any game is pretty cool right off the bat, I'd say, because you don't see nukes
Yeah.
enough anymore these days, that's for sure. But either way, these players, both decent players. Casey certainly not as much in his prime as he used to be, but I think we could still see some interesting stuff from both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Firebathero is a big favorite here, so I might be,
Hey,
especially with Casey's
who is that?
reputation for being a favorite. I
I see
actually didn't
someone
see
in the
who is it.
audience that looked like Light. Anyway,
Maybe it is light.
maybe not.
Uh, yeah. It's going by stats. Casey is definitely definitely an underdog. He's 3-5 this season in Pro League, and he is 50% against Terran. Whereas Firebat Hero, of course, is one of the top contenders, definitely in the top 10 in Pro League. And he is 63% against Terran. Only recently surpassed by his his Terran versus Zerg skill, which is now at 65%. Used to be his best matchup, but he's certainly improved on both of them. And so I expect with Casey's reputation for being a creative player, he will be going for a faster build or a more creative build, a more non-standard build against Firebat Hero. That would be probably the strategically correct thing to do, especially given the fact that he doesn't practice as much as Firebat Hero does, of course, and doesn't play as much. Firebat Hero actually right now is ranked 6 in terms of Pro League performance with a very strong 13-6 record this season in Pro League. So I expect good things from Firebat Hero, both before and possibly after the game, of course, where he is often known for his ceremonies.
Did you notice that Firebat Hero walled off?
Yeah, he did.
That's kind of interesting. I wonder if he was kind of assuming that he was going to get some sort of all-in vulture build or something silly from
Maybe.
Casey, and he's preparing for it right off the bat. And he's also going to be able to deny the scout, so that's going to be like a double win right there for him. He's also going for a quick expansion. If you notice, he had only one SEV mining the gas, so
That's right.
most likely anyway, he is going for that fast command center. And we are seeing a two-fact build from Casey, so
That's right. Absolutely.
maybe Firebat Hero with the correct decision right here to go for the wall in, which I got to be honest, I haven't seen much in a lot of TVTs. It's a good strategy, I think, because it doesn't hurt you in any way. I mean, all you got to do is lift off your barracks, and you're as functional as if you didn't have a wall in the first place, and it doesn't really take much extra effort. So we'll have to see if this ends up paying off for him, but right off the bat, I think it's a good thing. I don't see anything upgrading quite yet, but I do see something pumping out of that factory, which I'm assuming is a vulture for Casey. We'll have to see what comes out of there, of course, but if he goes for a vulture build, he's going to be pretty disappointed when he sees that wall, which is going to be almost impossible for him to break with some vultures if Firebat Hero starts out with a tank, because of the limited amount of damage that Vultures will be able to do against tanks. And now, oh no, he actually puts out a tank first. So I'm wrong. Maybe we're going to see some sort of Gundam type build early on in a TVT, which would be a little weird, but could certainly work. And the SEV scouting that now realizes that he's not going to be able to get in there and get a real scout. So Firebathero effectively denying the scout right there, which is exactly what he wanted to do. And now with a tank there, as far as Casey would know, if he were to scout the tank, he wouldn't be that far off. And now Casey upgrading what I'm guessing might be siege tech, considering he's got a tank out, but could still be something vulture related as well.
Yeah, it could be actually Siege first here. That is definitely a possibility here. He might decide to just go in for a fast push. Firebird here on the hand doesn't know what Casey's doing, so he's putting down that early Academy. That's going to slow him down a little bit. That Academy's not going to be very useful. Now he sees the tanks moving out, though, unfortunately for Casey. Casey, now Firebird Hero knows exactly what's going on. This is going to be a fast tank siege push here with Goliaths to back it up. So Firebird Hero is going to need to get prepared for this. He has 2 facts down. He has his expansion down. Casey, of course, has a big superiority in forces. He needs to do some effective damage, though, with the superiority. He had an academy down, I'm sorry, an armory down, so that's what he was going for. And right now he is up at least a Goliath, although Firebat Hero has siege tanks up, but siege mode will be done for Casey. There it is. Siege mode done for Casey. He's going to siege up right now and outrange those tanks by a whole lot. And he has that barracks up there critically to help provide scouting. And here he goes. Getting the siege up. Obviously, Fireback Hero doesn't have it. Fireback Hero pulling his SCVs. He needs to do anything he can to defend. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs here, but he's using them very effectively to catch hits for the tanks. Casey needs to micro those tanks. No! Firebat Hero's push takes down everything from Casey. And Casey manages to take out one tank, but Casey in gigantic trouble now. Firebat Hero has taken perhaps an insurmountable lead in this game by having a beautiful, beautiful defense there. Just look at that defense from Firebat Hero. He's so prepared for any kind of push. He definitely spotted it on time. I do have to say he was a little bit lucky with that scout. He saw the tanks moving out, giving a little sigh of relief. All he has to do is hunker down, build up, and he's going to win this game as long as he doesn't make any more mistakes or make any mistakes. He hasn't made any.
if if you notice, he went right to his first bridge, too. So this is going to make it very difficult for Casey to try to cross that bridge and continue to put pressure on the expansion of Firebat Hero, which is going to allow him to have a better positioning. But no, he backs off, actually. And Casey goes around the top. I guess he must have been seeing this coming. And, oh, no, Firebat Hero losing a tank right off the bat. And losing a second tank, but it looks like he's going to be able to clean this up, staying within the range of Siege Tank, of the Siege Tank siege mode, or outside of it by being inside of it, I guess. And he backs it up with another tank and is able to fend it off again. And now the fact that he's got that second command center up already, in case he looks like he's just putting his down now, he's got it building. He's going to be way ahead in economy, and also we can expect to see a couple of more factories coming from Firebat Hero, and Casey's going to lose that barracks, which I got to be honest is actually going to make a little bit of a difference if he's all right. So he's rebuilding it right away because he knows that that's going to affect the timing of his third and fourth factories. Now that expansion is getting up and running, Firebat Hero though 2 machine shops attached to his forces, and going for a second expansion, going to try to make use of this advantage that he feels he has. Casey, though, moving up to the top of the base. I don't know if he knows what Firebat Hero has up there, but he's somehow moving up that direction and towards that expansion. So I'm a little curious if he was just trying to go back around the top, which it appears he was trying to do, and not try to go towards that expansion. And Firebat Hero now putting up his defenses. But I got to say, Casey seems to have him a little bit contained in a way right now. Not a very difficult contain to break or anything like that, but it does have some sort of contain. And now Vulture's coming out, so a little bit of a tech switch. Mines out on the field. So that's going to play a little bit of a role for both scouting and those spider mines in very strategic positions at the edge of those bridges to see if any units are going to be coming across them. So he's going to have pretty good information from Firebat Hero if he's trying to make an advance on his base and making some more vultures. And Firebat Hero managing to get a scout. He sees the vultures. He's inside his base again. Not to mention he must have scanned by this point. So Firebat Hero in a comfortable position getting his third and fourth factory up as well. And now we're going to see mass production from both of these players and start going into a mid game.
Yeah, Firebathero walking into this big game as a mid game as a big favorite, and also just gotta see the scouting has been impeccable from Firebathero. I don't know how he managed to get that SCV in, but the fact that he's seen the vultures makes him a lot more wary about mines. And possibly Casey was trying to set up mine traps there to blow up some of Firebathero's tanks if he moved out without scanning first. But now Firebathero is going to be extra careful. I don't think he's going to lose any tanks anytime soon to mines. And looks like Casey's going to try to bring some of these slow vultures in to try to mine up these tanks and blow them up. He needs to lay some mines, though. I don't know what he's doing. That is not effective, Casey. He might get one tank. He won't even get one tank. Wow, I'm a little bit shocked by that. He really needed to plant some
Brilliant
mines. I thought
play.
that. Yeah, I know. That was a mistake. Oh, look at those girls. They're probably
You're like,
Casey
what
fans
the hell
or
is going
Air Force.
on?
They're like, what was that? Casey, you nub. I just
Yeah.
don't know about this ground two-fact push. It is a very very old school build, and to be honest, the one-fact fast expands of the present day deal with it very 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 well. They really counter a two-fact straight-up push like that very well. In order to do a one-base build, we've seen more success with just like one starport builds, fast drops, of course. Two starport rates do happen, and they sometimes do succeed. They could definitely give you an advantage, but a combination of one starport and then with tanks coming up actually seems to be the most successful one-base build. We've seen a lot of victories, such as from 4GG against Flash with that kind of build. When Flash went for fast expand, 4GG had a lot of success with timing attacks off of
Oh,
fast tanks with fast rates, but instead, Casey trying to attack the third base here of Firebat here on the right side. It's not going to work. And Casey's opening build, I think, was just a little bit weak, especially on a map like this, which is so big. And, there's any time looking on. He's going to be facing Stork in Game 4, by the way. But he knows this is a very, very uphill battle from Casey. Firebat Hero just choosing to play a long game. And it makes sense because I think when you're out of practice, your early game suffers the least, but your macro game at the end suffers the most because that requires constant fine-tuning, constant practice to be able to control, 30 tanks, 30 units on the map, and maybe 10 factories and 4 bases. The end game is so hard to control, and I think that's what suffers the most in terms of when you're out of practice. And Firebat will get some vultures into the natural expansion.
wow. If you notice, Casey is actually laying siege on the top right base, and he actually is
He is.
becoming successful, but he's a little. But it doesn't look like Casey's actually moving his tanks forward at all. They're kind of just sitting there right now. And really, what he's got to be doing, he's got to move them forward if he's going to make any use of those tanks laying siege up there. And he's going to basically just let Fireback Hero keep his base there if he doesn't move in. It is moving in at this point, but Firebat Hero is floating over an eBay, and he's going to see this coming and probably reinforce it with all those tanks right there. And Casey doesn't see them because he doesn't have the range advantage right here, and Casey's going to slowly lose a couple of tanks here, and Firebat Hero is going to save that expansion again.
Yeah, I mean, Casey's trying his best to stay in the game here, but Firebat Hero's up one base. He's still able to mine gas there, so 3 gas to 2 gas, and that's a critical, of course, the critical gas for all the tech units. Looks like a dropship is out for Casey. He's going to try to do anything possible to stay in this game. That might include some drops. Meanwhile, Firebat Hero's got his science facility. He's got his first dropship there. He's probably thinking about some drops also, and meanwhile, he has moved and taken out Casey's forces there. Casey with a lot of vultures in the center of the map, going to try to deny reinforcements to the upper right, but I don't know what he can do here. He needs to put down some mines or do something. Looks like he gets down a lot of mines there, but his vultures are pincered from both sides here.
Oh, oh, oh! Oh, 2 tanks go
Oh,
down from that
nice.
mine. That was crazy. That was some pretty good mines. But Firebat Hero is actually going to lay siege from the behind him again, and he's in front of him. So Casey actually a little pinned in. No, it doesn't look like Firebat Hero has many troops in front of him after all. Those are a little bit further, and Casey's going to back off. But I don't know if that's a good idea at this point for Casey. It looks like he's going to try to go in with a dropship and do some damage here. I'm not sure what he's got in the dropship, but he is very vulture heavy, I think. So I would imagine that he'll throw a couple of vultures out there, try to get as many SCVs as he can. But no, it looks like he's going to go back towards the factory area, and Firebat Hero has to pull back a couple of dropships for his own. And oh man, he puts out some spider mines right in the middle of the factory, so any units popping out of that are going to get hit. And Firebat Hero, he's not scanning, and his units are taking hits. Finally scans. 2 units getting hit. Not going to lose anything. Not going to be too big of a hit, but Casey doing a pretty good job of at least disrupting him, which at this point is pretty much exactly what he needs to do. He's got to stop those bases from mining as much because right now Firebat Hero's got that huge economic advantage on Casey, and Casey needs to get back up in even numbers with expansions. And Firebat Hero just at this point he's got the mobility advantage, he's got the economic advantage. But Casey with a lot of tags, but moving him right up into siege, and that's going to be pretty bad for Casey, losing way more tanks than he needs to.
Yeah, Firebathero is a big superiority here. Casey just trying desperately to do some damage. He knows he needs to go on the offense. He can't possibly expect to survive with this deficit. He looks like he's going back for another drop inside the main, but Firebathero's got 3 dropships full of units, I presume, and he could probably drop on top of these vultures. But a really brave effort here from Casey, but I just think Firebright Hero had just simply had some outclassed, to be honest. I mean, Casey, you have to realize, has just recently joined the Air Force, maybe a month and a half ago when the new year's of recruits him. So he's probably busy with boot camp, getting his hair shaved and learning
That
what the Air
sucks.
Force does. And yeah, it looks like Firebright Hero putting a big drop in Casey's natural. So my point is, Casey probably
Ouch.
hasn't had that much time to think about StarCraft. So he's trying his best, but he's just outclassed here by Firebright Hero.
Uh, and look at all the SCVs he's losing, man. That is not good. He's attacking tanks with
Oh
just
man.
SCVs right now. No units at all to back this up. An empty dropship just from dropping the vultures before hanging over Firebat Hero. Not going to deter him at all. A lot of vultures, very vulture heavy. We're going to probably see a ton of mines
Oh
out on the
man.
field from Casey because of that. But he doesn't have the right unit combination to go against Firebat Hero at this point. Firebat Hero very tank and Goliaths heavy. And oh man, just dropping all over those tanks. And bam, they
Wow.
just disappear. That is going to be real bad for Casey. I think that was a game ender right there with that and the natural expansion that he just lost all the mining from. What else can he do at this point?
Oh, there's absolutely nothing he can do. Pretty much, this is just how long is it going to be before Casey GGs. And Air Force Ace players, for good or bad, have had a tendency of delaying GG way past, well, not way past when it's due, but I guess way past when they pretty much have no chance of coming back. Casey going to try to go for the upper right again. He's got a good group of vultures, managing to, well, get one hit on the tank. Should have actually finished off with one more hit. But just looking at the upgrades here, Casey has 0, I believe Firebat Hero has +2 attack. And I don't think Casey has any upgrades here, +3 attack, in fact, for Firebat Hero. And I think Casey's still at
Wow.
0. So, I mean, this is just slaughter here. I mean, the tanks are going to melt. Every shot from Firebat Hero is going to do that much more damage. Firebat Hero catching a lot of vultures here at the upper right. Still not going to do too much, though. I mean, considering Casey can lose that entire expansion and still be ahead. Now Firebat Hero doing a double drop, one in the natural expansion, one in the main. Now the vultures in the upper right getting killed off, and that's Casey's last hope. I mean, that is going to be game here. Wow, just look at that natural expansion SCV slaughter here.
He just attacked on 4 fronts at the same time. He did the natural expansion. He did out on the
Yeah,
field.
it's
He did the
ridiculous.
second expansion. He did the main base. He's redropping in the natural expansion with units from the main base. I mean, he's just you said it perfectly, man. He's outclassing him. There's no way that Casey can hang with Firebat Hero these days. And oh no, a physics lab going
Oh
down for
no.
Firebat Hero. So we're going to
Uh-oh.
totally see some bad mannerism. I guess he's not respecting his elders right, not yet anyway. And he's going to put out a battle cruiser. I would assume. I can't imagine anything else he'd do with a physics lab. So Casey, I don't know, man. Hopefully he realizes it's over before then and never has to see him. But it's a good chance that Firebat Hero's going to do what he does best on New Harmony, and that is make battle cruisers against any race.
Pretty much. He loves his battle cruisers recently. I've never seen Firebat Hero do any ceremony, pretty much any offensive ceremony against an Air Force Ace member, even though he has beaten them before. I think maybe it has to do with the respect, respect for the fact that they are serving their country and hence may
Could
not have
be.
time to play. Or I think it could be the fact that each of them could probably physically dominate him and destroy him. I don't think there's a single Air Force Ace team who couldn't cream Firebat Hero with probably one arm tied behind their back. So maybe it's just the fear of physical retribution from men like Reach, obviously, and Daezang. It looks pretty scary too at times. I don't know. Even Mew Myung is a pretty badass looking guy, and of course Boxer will probably just go and beat up Firebat Hero just for good measure too. But we'll see what he does in game here if he decides to go for nukes or battle cruisers. Obviously, is what he's probably building here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got to worry about the guys beating him up too much. I mean, I have seen Firebat Hero in his underwear in the last Pro League season, and I don't know, man, he was looking pretty buff. He
Yeah.
certainly wasn't any time. He wasn't any time
I don't know about
by
that.
any means. But he,
I don't know how buff
you
he
know, he
was.
might be able to hold his own against Casey. Yeah, right. He'd get destroyed. Hey, Firebathero's got the softest hands on Samsung Khan. All right, leave him alone.
Probably protects his hands every day. It's his most prized possession, part of his body. And now we're
Yeah,
seeing
it's the
drop
part that
ships
makes him
just.
his most money.
That's right. That's right. And looks like these are the last few tanks of Casey just gonna get dropped
Oh,
upon and destroyed. GG coming from Casey.
GG. So no battle cruises for Casey. Lucky him, but well played by Firebat Hero, and not too bad against for Casey either. I mean, he did a pretty good job for as much practice he gets. And oh,
Oh.
just a little slice in the neck action over there. And that's it.
All right. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for